Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Today we're going to go through Southwestern Ontario market stats. What did the market do in 2021? How did we do in December? What's it looking like moving forward? What's going to happen? Should we be buying? Should we be selling? What are we doing out here? So let's just go ahead and have a look right up on the screen here. Oakville, Hamilton, Kawartha, Lakes compared to all of the numbers that I do get through this program called ITSO, our MLS system that is not TREP in Ontario, and maybe some outside areas. Let's just have a look here. As you can see, this is average price, and it's obviously up a little bit. Problem with average prices is that, especially in places like an Oakville or something like that, there can be, a $6 million sale, and it throws off the average, skews the average for that thing. So that's why, average prices, it's fine, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So we're down a little bit in Oakville, up significantly in Hamilton, Kawartha Lakes. So this is Halton, so all of Halton region, not just Oakville, as well as Niagara and Waterloo. And as we can see, Halton, year over year is up 30%. All of ITSO is up 28.7. Niagara is up 25.6. Waterloo region's up 33.7. Again, so Oakville itself is only up 15. So that means the other regions in Halton must be up a lot more. Hamilton's up 31.9. And Kawartha's is up 34.4, and that might be because that's median price and not average price. There you go. See, so average price took a dip for Halton, I guess. I'm assuming there was a large sale happened in November, and that's going to skew the numbers. But anyways, you got the numbers here. Still relatively similar. And then, let's check out. So new listings, woo! All everywhere it's bad. But let's see. So last December in all of ITSO was 4,000, and now it's 3,600. So, not horrible. And it was bad, last year and this year. But it's down. What's that? 20%? 15% year over year. Oh, there you go. All of ITSO is down 10% year over year. Halton's down 15%. Niagara's actually up a little bit, and so is Waterloo region. So, that's a little surprising for me. Let's check out again. So Oakville is down 21%. We had 82 listings. 82 listings in all of December this year. But you can see this is historical, right? Like, December 2019, we had 74. 2018, we had 105. So it's not unnormal. So like 2018, we had about the same amount of listings. We had more listings than 2019. So, these are just things to take into account, right? Homes for sale, obviously, we have very little inventory at this time. So last year at this time, it's down 40% year over year. It's down 64% in Oakville, 53% in Hamilton, 42% in Kawartha Lakes. Let's just go ahead and look at homes for sale. Halton is down 62%, so it's same trend. Niagara is down 31%. Waterloo region's down 45%. So there's not a lot of inventory right now. If you're a buyer, it's hard to find things. And if you do find something, you're probably competing with, 15 or 20 other people who are looking for those same homes, right? Sales. So sales again, we're down 15% year over year. So that's January. So we go to So 5,175, and now we're at 4,400. And I'm just going to say a lot of that's probably lack of inventory. Same all over. So sales are down, listings are down, homes for sale are down, which probably means that days on market is, smaller because, there's less inventory, as you can see. Definitely less inventory. I mean, 6, 7, 8, 13 days, really just not a lot, right? Like, it's very, very minuscule. Halton 6, Niagara's 10, Waterloo 7. Average for the whole board that they do, and I'll show you, it does all the cities, does all the regions. As you can see, some are better than others because they don't have all the data, but they get a few data points. So yeah, that's always interesting. And as you can see, we have very, very little inventory. So last year around this time, we had around 6 months of inventory, or half a month's worth of inventory, and we're down to below half that. So we have a quarter of a month. So if nobody listed their house for 8 days-ish, there would be nothing for sale on the market right now. That's where we're at. So obviously with that, prices are probably going to go up a little bit more because there are so many buyers for the same home and there's just no inventory. So TREB, now we're talking about Toronto Real Estate Board. Why I like to use these stats is it just doesn't do Toronto. We're talking about Durham region, York region, Peel. It comes out to Halton region. It goes pretty much everywhere. The Toronto Real Estate Board obviously has a big reach. Why am I saying that? Well, I'm saying that because we can look at, how many houses were sold as a collective there and then extrapolate that to a province-wide number, right? So as you can see, some months were better in 2019 than 2021, but as you can see, last March was last January, February, March, April, May, June were the best months ever for selling. There were so many homes sold, there was double than the previous records, other than now May, you're coming in here, and not double in April. There was a lot of houses sold in the first 6 months of last year. And then, obviously what happened in 2020 was people realized that, we can still buy houses, we can still qualify for mortgages. So they started buying later in the year. And as you can see, out of the last 6 months, 5 out of those last 6 months, 2020 numbers beat the 2021 numbers. And I'm going to assume that's because of these numbers right here, is that, in April and May, there was basically nothing closing. So therefore, it got pushed to the end of the year, which is what we saw. So saying that, they're still the best months other than 2020. So when you see that housing sales are down, and people like to put that in the headlines, what that really means is it's still the second best month that has ever happened in the TREB, in what the data they collect. So TREB and the other one that I was showing you are basically the two biggest things in Ontario, and that's where most of the data is right? New listings, as you can see, listings are not keeping up with sales, which we all know, and that's why we have lack of inventory. But we didn't have as many listings this December as last December, and even as 2019. And we can see that's basically been the trend. What's that? July, August, September, October, November, obviously last year to this year, but you can see here's 2018, here's 2019. There was definitely more listings, and there are definitely more buyers right now. Well, this is really interesting statistic. Sales to new listings ratio. So this is how many sales. So if I put up 100 homes, typically, you're selling 50-ish%, 60%. 65-70%, 65-70. Up here, we're selling this year, we're selling 80% of new homes. Okay, we dipped down to 70 in September. We came up to 90-ish in October. We are almost at 100% of sales in November. And then December, we're at like 120% of the listings we're selling. So we're selling, for every 5 houses that get put on market, we're selling 6. So obviously that's not sustainable, and that's why we see no inventory. Here's your averages. You can obviously see it is going up significantly. As you can see, average price obviously is not a straight line. Here's the trend line, and here's, the jumps. So this is March, April of 2020, and then it just had a huge run up. Again, this is around the summertime. This year, we obviously had a little bit of a dip. The first 6 months were unbelievable. So many houses sold, and then people were like, whew, they got it out of the way. Summer dipped a little bit, and then we're just crushing it into the new year with pretty much everything except for sales. It's still pretty low, but prices are definitely up. And this is sales to new listing ratio. Basically everything's selling. So what does all this mean for you? Should you buy? Should you sell? Should you invest right now? I don't have a crystal ball of what's going to happen overall. We got some factors here. So we have decent inflation at 5, 6, 7% is what they're reporting, probably 10, 11% real inflation. We have a lot of jobs going unfilled, which is causing upward pressure on wages, which is another inflationary factor that's going to be coming down the pipeline. So what does that mean is that the Bank of Canada at some point this year will raise interest rates. So the Bank of Canada will increase interest rates. They've said it's not going to happen first quarter. I believe them. Quebec and Ontario are in lockdown right now. And unfortunately, that's the biggest economies in Canada. That's probably half the population, if not more, in lockdown right now. So a lot of jobs are going to be lost. You're going to see that. And that's what they've predicated doing the increases on. So we were thinking April, May for an increase. I think you might even see June now. Probably 2 increases out over this year. They did stop the new buying process. Maybe they're going to have to do a little more quantitative easing and go back into the bond buying, which would then lower fixed rates. But again, we did the video before. Variable rates are hot right now. People are, taking variable rates over fixed at an increasing rate. So what should you do? If you're an investor, buy something that you can add value to. Always a great idea. Buy something you can add value to. And, is the market going to make you look like a genius 30% year over year? Maybe there's that much demand this year. Are we going to see 30% this year? I don't know. Do I think 10 to 12% is way more likely? Yes. Yes, I do. I think 10 to 12% year over year. Listen, if you can put 20% down on a property and get 10% appreciation, you've had a 50% gain. That's not even including any mortgage pay down, or if you've bought something to add value to, not something that you've added value to that, now you're up a stupid amount and you can refinance out all your money out because the market makes everyone look like geniuses when it goes up 10, 20, 30%. If it goes up anything more than 6%, you look like a genius. So my recommendation is to buy. As for selling, well, if you need to go somewhere, it's not a bad time to sell. There's no inventory on the market right now. You're going to get, if you price it right, you're going to get 15, 20 offers on that property. And, if it's the right property and you stage it well and you market it well. So if you want to be in control of that process, it might be the time. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys are doing this year. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you staying pat? Are you buying in Canada? Are you buying in the US? Comment down below. Like and subscribe. See you guys next time.